Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Mega Man ZX Advent. In the last part, we got through the tutorial stage with Mega Man Model A, and now it's time for us to progress onwards. But first we're gonna do a bit more exploration of Hunter's Camp now that we can wall jump with Model A. The main thing this allows us to do is access the screen that'll take us to our first two levels, yes. But also allows us to meet these NPCs on top of the buildings in Hunter's Camp 1 and 4. Now, they'll all have side quests later on in the game, and you can tell when a character has a side quest when, after you've first talked to them, if they have like an exclamation point bubble above their head. The ones that I'm talking to right now will not have such side quests, though, until more or less the end of the game, until you've at least gotten all 8 of the main bosses taken care of either way, because that's what they're related to. There's no way around it. To keep digging, I'm going to need 100 energy crystals. Help with the donation? Sure. Thank you. With this, I should be able to make this passageway a little bit wider. Kid's side quest happens in stages, where you give him energy crystals in increasing amounts, you exit and re-enter the building, and he is then dug a little bit deeper. Hey, this is how much I was able to widen the passageway, but to keep going, I'll need 200 energy crystals more. I believe the amounts that it goes in is 100, 200, 400, and I want to say 8. It's either 6 or 800 from there. I forget how much the last one you need to pay for costs to move. You're going to be getting a lot of energy crystals throughout the game anyway, so that while it might seem like a lot, it's honestly not too much. Unless you're playing on hard mode, which you unlock after you've beaten the game. Hard mode, I'll go over in more detail as we go through, but the biggest thing that you would have encountered thus far, outside of some slightly different boss patterns, is the warp points cost, I think, 5 times as much to unlock, and that drains your energy crystals fast. I'm Tina. I used to run with a group of bandits. Don't worry, that's all my past. Now I make an honest living as a hunter. Now, the cool thing we can do over here is we can destroy these blocks here with Buckfire's downwards jump kick. And that allows us to come down to this area below it. We can't actively do anything down here until near the very end of the game, but this is one of the few places in the game where I can show you that if you're un-Mega Merged as Gray or Ash, you can swim on the surface, just like Vent and Ale could in the original ZX. That never really comes into play in this one, though, unlike the original ZX. In fact, I'd say by and large, barring a few one-tile-high passageways you need to crawl through, Ash and Grail don't get much individual use. How are you? Glad to see I'm eating. Would you mind not talking to me right now? My name, it's Owl. What about it? Hunter's Camp 3 is where we're going to be accessing our first levels from. And we can also use either the Giga Crush with Gray or Ale's Charge Shot to destroy that block over there and get that secret disc, but I don't do that until later. Hello, my name is Sharon. Are you trying to get up to that room up ahead, too? It seems like that green door has some kind of security lock on it. We can't access that door until way later in the game. The 2 levels we can now access are either through the icy door or the one coming up here on the right. Hello, is this the first time we've met? My name is Blossom, and this is my daddy. Oh, my daddy's name is Warren. Cool. When it comes to skills of the Buster, there's nobody in Hunter's Camp even close to me. And that is a side quest. I could care less if you're supposed to be some Mega Man or whatever. All I know is you ain't even in my league. If you don't believe me, just go to the firing range up ahead and challenge my record. I'll even give you this room key. Give the key back when you're finished, though. As a matter of fact, I'll pay you 100 energy crystals if you beat my record. This is our first proper side quest. There are a set amount of these throughout the game, and this one's pretty straightforward. We're going to have a bunch of these enemies coming from 3 different altitudes. They're supposed to shoot through 3 different holes in the wall. The Giga Crush with the A button can come in handy here for taking out a lot at once, as can using your sub-weapon, which will lock onto several and then destroy them all at once. More enemies don't spawn until you've destroyed the ones that are already on screen, and the further you get into the timer, the more that spawn. At least the more quickly that spawn. So while it might seem like that I'm halfway through the time limit and I'm only about a third of the way there, that's about normal. I think the highest you can likely get in this depends on the character you're playing as, because I believe the sub-weapons with Gray and Ale do something slightly differently on top of their charge shots being different. But I'd say on average, the most you can take care of is between 101 and 115 is usually where I can cap out at. You can redo this side quest after you completed it for, I think, more energy crystals, but it doesn't give you anything extra. I think you're challenging your own record at that point, though, so the higher it gets, the harder it's going to be to beat, of course. What? Is it true you beat my record? All right, here's the energy crystals, I promise you. Take it. And we return the firing range key. Notably, if you mess up that side mission, you do have to come back to him and tell you failed, and you have to get the key from him again. And now, welcome to the Tower of Verdure, our first proper stage, sort of. You can also take care of the one that is just to our south on the map on the bottom screen. By and large, ZX Advent uses the bottom screen better than ZX Original did, in that there's actively something on it at all times. And you can even use it to A-Trans, as long as you're on the proper submenu of it. But by and large, the top screen is where most of the action is in this one, just like ZX Original. Alert! Alert! Security system malfunction. Alert condition 3 in effect. Seal all exits. Ah, shit. Yo, this isn't good. It's no use, the doors are locked. We can't get out. This is Albert. Are you alright, Gray? That old tower was built to surveil the surrounding area. The security has been fortified against Mavericks, but there seems to be a malfunction. There should be a computer at the top that controls the security system. You must get there and disarm the system, Gray. Alright, and now the stage properly begins, and it's a giant vertically structured level. Also, nice little Easter egg. You might look to the bottom of that little platform. If you look carefully, you can see what looks to be remnants of wire sponge from Mega Man X2. They like doing that throughout these games. Like, ZX Original had High Leg Orbuckle from Z2 in the first stage as well. Now, the big thing with this stage is that while it is a vertically structured tower, you can't easily fall down it compared to some other vertically structured levels in games, as the platforms do a good job of segmenting the area. With that said, there are still the occasional bottomless pit, and there are spikes littered throughout this area. I'd say this stage probably has one of the highest spike densities in the game, so be a little careful. You don't even need to come through most of the side areas, because either you can't access them properly yet, or they just have a secret disc. And as I mentioned briefly, secret discs in this game are just for background on characters, bosses, and normal enemies. It's not like 0-3 where some had like energy crystals. It's entirely optional stuff, and because of that, I'm not going to be getting them in this LP. I grab a lot along the way. I think I get roughly half to 2/3 of them, but there's a lot that I just don't backtrack to get because, frankly, there's no point in it to me. But now we're coming up on the mini-boss. By and large, every stage in this game has a mini-boss, more or less. And in this one's a giant mega spider. This thing can cause spiders to crawl down the ceilings along the spikes, and from its central by sending down a web, it can spiral its arms around in a circle that you can jump over. But the biggest attack of note is that it'll occasionally put one of its arms down into the floor to destroy it, and which platform it's going to destroy is color matched by the orb in the center of the leg's joint. So say if they're about to stab with the blue joint, they're going to destroy the blue platform. Also, if you're wondering what that pause was, I believe my phone rang at that exact moment. The more platforms the spider destroys, the further down the tower you fall, but that more or less just changes the next bit of level design slightly and how far back up you have to climb the tower. It doesn't actively lead to, like, bottomless pits or death at the end of it, I think. Although, actually, now that I think about it, at the third set of platforms, there might be spikes beneath the platform. Don't quote me on that. I've seldom ever fallen that far. Now, the Tower of Verdure, there are two reasons I do this level before the other level we can do at this point. The first is you want to climb along the outside of this quickly before the platforms fall to grab our first life up, which permanently increases your health by, I think, 5 units, something like that. There are 4 of those, I think, located throughout the game, same with 4 biometal ups and 4 sub-tanks. The biometal gauge in this game, which is the green bar next to my health bar, is by and large the weapon energy for the game. Any charge shots with A-Trans members using the Giga Crush and sub-weapons generally drain that. In some regards, it's good to get the upgrades. In some regards, it's not as good. And we'll get more into why that is later on. Because for now, we're at the boss fights. Nothing really important to prepare for here. Just make sure you maybe good and healthy for it.
For a raider to make it this far is quite something. Yeah, I like you. Accept my thorny embrace and allow your soul to be scattered like petals on the breeze. Stay away from me!
Stop!
Like honeybees, one by one they are drawn to my nectar. You're quite a handsome boy. I like you.
So you're the one who caused the security system to malfunction.
I'm planting a seed that will lay the foundation for the new world and the new king. It grows by feeding on the fear of those unfortunate enough to wander into this tower.
What's this?
I am Rospark. Come and cry in my bosom. Cry out in terror and pain.
Alright, Rospark's gonna by and large stick to the 4 vines in the center of the screen, using a bit of a stab attack to move between them. He can also occasionally charge up his whip to electrify the one he's about to go to, and send out several seeds that'll either just fly across the screen or then leave a triangle between them whether or not he's charged them or not. He can also charge up for a giant laser that he'll swipe across the screen with. Here it is right here. It'll also heal him a little bit. If he starts slow, you want to get to the top by kick jumping or just charging, or by dashing underneath him, rather. By and large, behind him is the safest spot whenever that attack comes up. You can knock him off the vines, but we can't exactly do that yet.
I underestimated you. I had no idea your power was so fiery. I'm wilting. Yeah.
And we've copied Rospark's data. We'll go over what he can do movement-wise in a few moments, because we're going to be immediately followed up with another cutscene. And this one's kind of chatty.
You're one of the gang who attacked our airship! Aren't you? No! Stop! Stay away!
It's no use. He's in a total panic.
Calm down. I'm here to help you.
Stay back! Get away! Ah!
What the heck just happened?
Total and utter defeat. That man, unable to endure the terror, fell victim to Model W.
Model W? This humongous thing is a biometal?
Cross-checking. Data match found. Subject is Megaman Model A.
What the heck are you guys?
Megamerge.
You, the chosen one for Model A? What a disappointment. I am Aeolus, the Wind Megaman, Model H.
Codename Sharnak. Shadow Megaman Model P.
Model H? Model P? Are these the other Megamen Prometheus was talking about?
Operational time limit exceeded. Retrieve Model W.
Wait! You think you can just run away?
Us? Run away? Don't be stupid. We're letting you go. For now.
Present primary objective is development and retrieval of Biometal Model W. Engaging Megaman Model A in combat does not fall within strategic operational parameters.
What? So you're just going to ignore us, huh?
You understand correctly. We can end you at any time. You would do well to hone your skills by the next time we meet.
Finally, we were able to reach you. Are you okay? We've verified that the security system has indeed been disarmed. Now you should be able to continue.
Model P and Model H in the hands of someone who's not named Venturail? What the hell's going on, huh? Be careful, Gray. There are thorns everywhere. Oh, yeah, you can morph into Rospark. Press the control pad up in front of vines and poles, and Rospark will grab a hold of them. You can also move sideways vine to vine or pole to pole. Just press the attack button while holding the control pad left or right to whip out Rospark's arms. Hold the attack button and release to do an electric attack. Oh, it looks like Rospark has one more attack. Press the other attack button to extend Rospark's thorns. Holding this attack button and releasing it will also do an electric attack. It's a lot to remember all at once, so have a look at it again on the profile screen. The profile screen, of course, is something we should probably show off here. They'll actively show you every attack you can use with any given transformation in the game, so if you get what they can do or looking for something more specific, it's probably in there. So Rospark is a little limited, unless there's poles or vines nearby, because he can't really jump, and his range is pretty good horizontally, and while he can shoot directly upwards, there's just better options. He's best used whenever there is just a vine or pole, in which case he operates the exact same way he did in the boss fight. Now, I'd like to correct a misnomer from last part. Buckfire's voice actor is not Captain Falcon from F-Zero GX. It's Aeolus, the guy we just met, who's that. Buckfire is familiar to me, though. He voices a notable character, Andre Richardson, in Yakuza 3. By and large, Rospark as a transformation is why I did this level first, as it'll allow us to grab extra items in the other level we can do at this exact moment. Before we go to that transfer, though, we want to come in here. Due to an airship crash in this area, safety locks are in operation. Locks can be disengaged by deactivating the 3 elemental switches. To deactivate, exploit the vulnerable attributes of each elemental switch. Electricity is effective against fire, ice against electricity, and fire against ice. Like the original Zero Series and ZX Advent, we do have an elemental weakness chain of fire to ice to electricity to fire. But unlike 0, 1 through 4 and ZX Original, it's really not useful in ZX Advent. Because your transformations are all the elemental stuff in the game, using the elemental things like Buckfire's normal shot causes some weird positioning that's just not really worth using in my eyes, except with a few particular endeavors that we'll be seeing later on in the game. But with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 4, we're going to take on the next level just due south of the Tower of Verdure. See you guys then.